Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft update video. Today it's Snapshot 21W11A and we are going to be going over everything that is new and changed in this update. So this update doesn't add anything new specifically, but it changes features that we already have, and I found a couple interesting things in it already. So for one, lightning rods can now be waterlogged. That is something that we could not do before. Don't really know what use this has other than building underwater, but because lightning obviously can't get underwater, but you can now waterlog lightning rods. So if that's something that you wanted before, you have it now. The other big changes come with oxidization and waxing. So before you had to combine in a crafting bench to wax blocks, but now you can just right-click with honeycomb and it becomes waxed. And then the axe has been added to either a strip the waxing from a block or to reverse oxidization. So like these blocks, we can take them back in time to what they look like before, just like that. So that is another use. Now, I have found something very interesting in this update, because the way that copper used to oxidize was based on game ticks and not random ticks. But I have found that if I increase the random tick, copper blocks oxidize very quickly. So I don't know if this was a mistake adding this in this update, changing it from game ticks to random ticks, or what, but that is a very big change because it used to take many days, but that amount of random ticks that we just went through is probably only a couple of Minecraft days to get to full oxidization. So I don't know if that's a change that's going to be implemented. It is not in the patch notes anywhere, so yeah, it's a little bit strange that that is like that. And of course you can still wax these with honeycomb, or maybe I can't. There we go, yeah, because you can't wax the last stage, but then they wouldn't change. So this is a little bit interesting. The other change that comes is, well, this one's a little bit interesting for me because Minecraft, Mojang added lightning rods to stop, basically to stop lightning griefing on wooden structures, but what they've done now is add a way for lightning to grief our copper structures. So basically, if lightning hits this, so summon lightning bolt right there, it's going to change all of the blocks around it back to... Oh, it didn't actually hit the lightning rod. Interesting. Summon lightning bolt. If I could actually get it to hit that lightning rod, which it doesn't seem to want to, it would change all of those blocks back a couple states. I wonder if it doesn't work with waxed. They don't say anything about that, but that is a possibility. So what if we were to take some of this just straight up oxidized copper, lay it down like this, because if it is the case that it only happens on the unwaxed stuff, that wouldn't be as bad, but of course you can't wax the last stage, so it would still be annoying. But let's see if this does it. Yeah, okay, so it only works if it's not waxed. Well, if they're going to do that, then I feel like they need to add waxing for the last stage, or it wouldn't work for us. Let's try this one more time with the waxed variant. So there is waxed, because we know that just works. And now let's try this. I wonder if it's just like a placement thing where I had over there. This will tell us for sure, and summon lightning. No, so it doesn't do anything. And I mean, I thought that this was supposed to stop lightning from catching things on fire, and yet we still have fires happening. So I know that it's supposed to pull the bolt, but it's definitely still making lightning. Still making fire, so yeah, but you can see there that as it hits the rod. It spreads, and this is probably very loud, but it turns the blocks back. So that is a new interesting feature that we have as well, but again, these blocks are probably going to weather again because of how the random tick is affecting everything here. So yeah, set the game mode random tick high, and look, it just oxidizes over almost immediately. So I don't know, this must be either a bug or B, something that they are going to implement that they kind of messed up on. So yeah. All right, let's move on to the next features. So from the Lush Caves, now if you bone meal rooted dirt, you will get these hanging roots down below, and this also works with a dispenser. So if you wanted to make a farm out of this where you bone meal the block and use silk touch to get the roots, this is now easy to do. Other small changes include the fact that you can now uncraft waxed blocks of copper into copper ingots, whereas before you could only do it with blocks of copper, but you can now do it with its waxed variant. They have also slightly tweaked the sizes of caves. They have adjusted the frequency of diamond ore blobs lower in the world, and these roots that we just saw are also now rendered randomly offset. So as you can see here, they are always a little bit different, but again, the way that this works, like with the last update, the way that we saw changes is they always appear on the same space in any given block. The big drip leaf block will now also always drop itself when you break it. That is a new change. And the moss block can now be crafted with stone bricks, cobblestone, things like that to make their mossy variants, so you don't have to do it the other way from before. And the facing direction of small drip leaf is now determined by which direction the player is facing when they place it. So you can place these in any direction, and that will also affect when these grow up into big drip leaves. They will be facing in that given direction. So you can now decorate with these a little bit better. And then the last thing that we have is with amethyst. So the budding amethyst always grows into full clusters, as we know. So let's increase this so that we get the full clusters here. And before, when this was broken, it would always drop 4 amethyst shards. But now, the way that this works is if you break it with a pickaxe, it will still drop 4. So as you see here, we will get 4 amethyst shards. But if you break this with your fist, like that, you will only get 2 amethyst shards. And that is the same with pistons. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult to farm, as if they hadn't made it difficult enough to farm already, because of the way that we cannot move these blocks. I still feel that the budding amethyst itself, the block in the center here, should be movable by pistons. I don't necessarily need to be able to silk touch it, but if we could move this by piston, I would be much happier, but that is the new change there. Now, that is all the gameplay updates that come with this snapshot, but the only other thing that was added was a new keyboard shortcut, which is F3 and L, which will create a profile of the game's performance metrics and drop it into your Minecraft file or folder as a zip. There you go, and that gives you the exact destination of the zip, and it will tell you how your game is running and things like that. I think that this is going to be a metric that they are going to use for the new visuals that they are going to be adding to the game. But that is everything that is new for today. The copper, the different changes to rooted and amethyst, and how lightning rods work, and possibly a change to how things oxidize with random ticks instead of game ticks. But that is going to be everything for today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because I cover all snapshot updates. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!